Hello and welcome to Drawing Basics. I'm Jamon, but I go by Tingy the Artist across most of my social media with the exception of TikTok being Zaha_TTA and my gamertag being Zaha_Tingy. Again, this is Drawing Basics. Last time was Shape and Form. Now I'm going to go a little bit further in depth with Form. I'm going to get on further in depth with Shadow and get you guys familiar with Perspective. So I have definitions kind of cleaned up and set aside for each one of them. I'm going to, just kind of draw it as I go. The main objective is to put all of these together into a final piece that you can see how they all work together. So right now, the first one's going to be form. See the definition there. Form is the upgrade of shape and is used to construct characters and objects with depth in your image. Now I was just going to draw another cube on a table, but I'm going to try and draw a still life. Actually no, because that would just be another cube on a table. I'm gonna draw from the mind, but I'm still gonna be able to get the message across in this video so that you guys get it. Assuming that you're like novices or whatever. And again, for just in advance, I have no degrees. I am not a teacher. I did not study art for a long time. This is just all prior knowledge and just self-taught experience and all that. So if it's kind of confusing, I apologize. If you learn something, you learn something. I'm happy for that. And I hope you continue to watch and learn, be entertained, just enjoy it, engage, trying to grow on here too. So, let's see, go in here, Procreate tips. I think I already shared this, but drawing guide, going over to the grid. Let me actually go in the drawing guides for you. You have a 2D grid, isometric, perspective, symmetry. 2D grid, looks like graph paper, done. Why am I using this? So that I can turn, whatchamacallit, Drawing assist on. Drawing assist on the 2D grid helps you to draw straight lines. That way, I don't have to keep doing this over and over and over again. Just want to get it flat on. So we got that table right here. I'm not going for anything crazy, just something standard. Clean it up in a second. I think I want to do a cup. Let me see. That's right. Drawing assist needs to come off. Now, remember how we used shape and form? We're going to use that to create an image right here. So we're going to draw the shape of a cup. And I wanted to add something else right here, just to fill in that extra little space. What can we put there? I guess a plate. A little bit lower with that. Alright, kind of necessary, but it's whatever. Just for the example. So this shape, well, this cup isn't like a cube. It doesn't have a lot of edges to it. It's mostly like a hollowed out sphere or hollowed out cylinder. So what you would do with that is to, of course, draw the rest of the handle like this. The other small details in, kind of curve over the lip of the cup. Have those edges kind of come in. Show you one side of the brim. Loop around like that. We'd erase that extra. Whoa, shit. You'll see. See, now we're kind of doing something here. Just kind of, sort of. Kind of see that you've got the lip and brim of the cup. Or mug. This is a really big cup. It could just come off the table slightly with that. I have fucked up, so I'm going to get rid of this and edit it, and you won't know the difference. And I'm not going to draw this plate, because that's extra. What we are going to do is go back into our drawing assist, right there, and there, back into, turn it off, like that. Just trying to give an example. That's it. A larger example. We've got the cup on the table. Drew the basic shapes. Came in to draw the form by adding that curve to it, trying to make it more believable. Now we get to shadow. Shadow is a complement to any form and is used to further sell the ideas of depth, texture, and believability. What I mean by that is, once again, you have a flat cup. Shit. Oh, there we go. Okay. Flat cup, right? Notice how it has a curve on it. So what we would do is follow that curve by adding more to it. Get something like that. You would come in with, my bad, let me add a little bit more to that. So you have that. Shadow follows along the curve of the cup. I think I can kind of add on to it. Try and make it look a little bit better. So just like, whatchamacallit, grade school book lines. Something you see in like a children's book. Children's illustration. Don't want to do that. Much rather do that. There we go. So now you have this kind of textured, not really textured. Texture would be this right here. Adding those little dark and light spots to show raised or flattened surfaces to make the surface look bumpy or smooth. That's adding texture to it. Like what you would do with bark, you would add lines and different little jagged, I guess, cracks, whatever. Like say you're drawing some bark on a tree. If you're getting real detailed in there, you would add a bunch of these. It's just adding to what you already have to sell its realism. Same thing applies to any object. So got your table. Just like in the last video, you're gonna follow your highlights and what's furthest away from your highlight. Trying to be quick here. I get a little bit of everything in for the sake of my own editing and for the sake of staying focused and making sure I don't ramble and end up with an hour to edit. And we're like 11 minutes in. So you can kind of see what I mean by that. Form is the upgrade from shape. Yes, upgrade of shape. And you construct characters and objects with depth in your image. This is an object, it has depth because it's curved and it has shadow. Shadow is a complement to your form. Again, the form is a cup. The shadow complements this by adding the idea that it's kind of curved. You can grab it like a real cup. And the idea that you're seeing this table from one of the sides where it's not getting hit by that highlight, so you see the shadow on it. Now what we have next is perspective. Perspective is yet another complement to any form that contributes to the believability of the image. When I say believability, I mean, does that thing look real from where I am viewing it? So, quick little Procreate tip. What layer am I on? I'm on layer 1. Everything's on the same layer, pretty much. But if I come in here to the select tool, select freehand, and you may automatically have color fill on. Don't worry about that. You just want to go almost all the way around that shape. Don't connect yet. And then you want to stop right there and then come over. Don't worry about clicking that dot. It's connected. Hit that select tool, and that's how you don't fill in with a color. Because if I were to just, let me see, go like that, do that, now you got a big blotch of black there, and you may do something by accident to fuck it up. So a quick little tip, 13 minutes in and we're going good. So what I can do with this is go to distort, and distort kind of changes the perspective. So I can make this like that, bring in those two edges, but that kind of fucks up the form of everything. You can always fix this. This is what I mean by perspective. Say if you were looking up from the top of the table, you would see something like this. You would see the actual top of the table because it's a 3D object, but everything would be bigger at the top and getting smaller towards the bottom because you're focusing on the image from the top down view. That's going to change the perspective. Thinking I could cheat and do this the simple, easy way, I cannot. So what I'm going to do is leave this how it was originally and draw a second photo, better capturing perspective. Because I don't feel like doing all this extra shit. I ain't reading all that. So what we're going to do is go back to our tried and true method of using the cube. I just love cubes. It's like a square but 3D, right? It's crazy. So what do we just say about the table? If you were viewing it from a different perspective, the shape of that form will change depending on your perspective. And that creates believability in your image. If I were looking at this table face on, it would look as is. If I were looking at it from the top, I wouldn't draw it the same way. I would draw it from the top down. That's believable. That looks real. You know, it's just something to think about when you're making an image. Anyway, we're looking at this cube from a top-down angle to the side view. So you want to remember your light source, that's where it's hitting. This point, furthest away from your light, that'd be the shadow. Also this, contact. Shadow's going to be the darkest at contact, cutoff point, and it's going to get lighter and lighter as you go towards that highlight. Of course, a little bit of shadow kind of at this back corner, kind of following everything. This is getting hit maybe a little bit from that corner. And hopefully this has saved time and has not screwed me over. Hey, look at that. What do you know? What do you know? Of course, I could come in this with some texture, but I probably won't. But I probably will. We'll have to see. Like that. We just want to fade everything. Again, you won't always have to use this method. You don't have to use this smudge tool. I use it for the sake of time consumption because it's simple, easy, and gets the point across. Looks nice to me also. This is all you're doing. You're following all these basic steps, putting them together to make something better overall, and just practice that. Don't worry, we're almost done here. That, bam, bam, bam. This is what I mean by perspective. We're looking at this cube, top down, wider at the top, more narrow towards the bottom. Shadow is going to be where the object cuts off at. I always imagine things on the table. You could add more to this by adding more shadow. Since it's kind of turned and the light is hitting it from one angle, it would cast a shadow opposite of where that highlight is hitting. So you could add the shadow behind that. You know, you can always just add extra little things to your art depending on what you want to do with it. You're going for hyperrealism, you're going for something simple but still nice to the eye. You know, it just really depends on what you want to do. For the sake of not confusing myself, I'm going to say that's about it. I hope this helps anyone who comes across it, if you're just looking to learn a little bit. So as always, thank you for watching. Hopefully you learned something, were entertained, or both. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe for future uploads if you're interested. And if not, your time is appreciated. All I ask is that you share the video with someone who you think will, because spreading the word goes a long way. For me, it helps me grow as a channel. And check out my socials for any other works that you're just interested in. I don't post to YouTube. All support is appreciated, and good luck on your art journey. Take care.